presented by Seat77.com. As always, Dave Dabbah is coming to you live from the Super Plus Seat 77 broadcast studio in the heart of Silicon Valley. Now, Dave Dabbah.
North America, thanks for tuning in to the Dave Dabbah Big Show. And now for a quick rundown of the world of sports. Coming up on today's big show, we've got James Harden saying he's going to be the Houston Rockets point guard. We've got Les Miles finally getting canned at LSU. And what the heck was that, Mike Tomlin? Plus, I'll give you a complete rundown of Sunday's National Football League games. All of that and more coming up on today's Dave Dabbah Super Really Big Show. All right, North America, I thought we would actually tip today's show off by talking about the National Basketball Association just briefly as the NBA training camps get ready to open a little later in the week. And the news out of Houston is disturbing at best. James Harden has been named the Houston Rockets starting point guard by their new head coach, Mike D'Antonio. Now, Mike has had actually, and I went back and I took a look at this, he's actually had a lot of success. Now, we all know that he runs a different kind of offense than most other coaches do, and it's all up-tempo, and it's all fast break, and that's what he likes to run. But to actually give the point guard duties to the biggest ball hog in all of sports, James Harden, the guy who actually forgot he had just signed a new Adidas contract and was still walking around town in his Nikes. Come on, Mike. This is not going to go well. Look, James Harden has never seen a shot anywhere on a basketball court that he didn't like. This idea that he's actually going to sit there and pass the ball around to other players on his team is completely false and incorrect and is never going to happen. All right, elsewhere around the wonderful world of sports, LSU. Oh, man, what a mess. LSU has finally done it. They've fired Les Miles. Look, Les Miles is like a cat. He's got like 9 lives. He's been fired so many times by LSU that it was hard to believe that this story was even true. So I waited a couple days before we brought it up on the Dave Dabbah Big Show. But yes, it's official. Les Miles, after going 2-2 and losing in a most disturbing way against Auburn this week, is out as the head coach. Now, look, the deal here is that Les was unbelievably stubborn. He was like the college version of Chip Kelly in his stubbornness. Just super stubborn. After he got a reprieve at the end of last year, instead of canning his offensive coordinator, he brought back Cam Cameron for more fun, and which, of course, has led to Les Miles' demise at LSU. All right, North America, tell us what you think. Info at seat77.com. We will read your emails and tweets on the air a little later in the week. Coming up on the Dave Dabbah Big Show, I will tell you how disappointed I am in Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers and cover the rest of this weekend's National Football League games. All of that and more coming up on the Dave Dabbah Big Show.
And now, North America, it's time to get down and dirty for some hard-hitting, concussion-causing coverage of the National Football League. The sport that Dave is so passionate about that he hasn't missed a single play of a Minnesota Viking game for the past 16 years. Presented by Seat77.com. And now, back to the Dave Dabbah Big Show.
North America, super excited to talk about week 3 of your National Football League. And I thought we would start off the NFL segment today by talking about the worst historical performance that I have ever witnessed by a starting quarterback during a regular season game in this here history of your National Football League. That's right, the Harvard man. The New York Jets didn't covet but brought back anyways through 6 interceptions in one game. He went like 20 for 42, 183 yards, and no touchdowns, and 6 picks. Look, I understand that Harvard guys make mistakes occasionally. I can expect maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe even 3 mistakes by Fitzpatrick throughout the course of a game. But 6 interceptions, unacceptable. Look, I thought he went to Harvard. He played like a quarterback that plays for a community college in the middle of nowhere. Fitzpatrick looked terrible, and if the Jets had anybody else to replace him with, they would, but they don't. The Jets lost to the Chiefs yesterday, 24-3. Totally disturbing. Elsewhere around your National Football League, the Ravens won. The Packers held on to beat the Lions as Matthew Stafford stormed back. Look, that guy is gutsy. The Lions are better than I thought they were going to be, but still, they ended up losing that game. Broncos defense just tough, especially after adjustments were made. 29-17 was the final in that one. The Cleveland Browns, found yet another way to lose a game. Now look, to set this up, on Thursday, they realized that their starting field goal kicker, was injured and wasn't going to be able to play. So they scrambled. I guess they called up Kevin Costner and asked him what they should do. Who should they bring in from the streets to kick field goals for him? And apparently they listened, because they brought in a guy that missed 3 field goals for him. He actually had a chance to win the game, and this was like a Blair Walsh 25-yard field goal attempt as time was expiring, and he missed it. And the Dolphins came back in overtime, scored a touchdown, and won that game. Look, I called this next one earlier. I said that the Bills would beat the Cardinals. I said this also earlier before the start of the season that I thought that the starting quarterback, that's right, the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, Carson Palmer, is nearing the end of his career, and he showed it yesterday. There was no zip at all on any of those passes. Buffalo beat him 33-18 in that one. The Raiders defense showed up, sort of, as they beat the Tennessee Titans 17-10 in that one. Look, it's Tennessee, Oakland. Don't get so excited yet. Let's see what happens next time you play a team like Atlanta. Moving on to the Seahawks, who expectedly crushed the 49ers. The Seahawks offense showed up. Russell Wilson went down. He was kind of in and out of the game. He's got a sprained MCL in his knee. Most likely will play in week 4. Seahawks with the victory, 37-18. Look, Blaine Gabbert is terrible. Absolutely terrible. He can't even throw the short passes effectively. The question is, when will Chip make the move to Colin Kaepernick? Look, it needs to happen at some point, and I'm not saying they're going to win any more games with Cap, but it's hard to sit there and watch Blaine Gabbert play quarterback in the National Football League. Look, the 49ers are playing the Cowboys next. That's coming up on Sunday. And if Kaepernick isn't starting by the start of the second half of that game, the 49ers season will be officially over. The Rams offense actually showed up 37-32. No longer afraid of touchdowns are your Los Angeles Rams. The Bears are going to give a run to the Cleveland Browns this year for the worst team in the National Football League, as they lost to the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football 31-17. The Colts held on to beat the Chargers 26-22. Antonio Gates, who should have retired a couple years ago, was missed actually by the Chargers as he was out, and they could not do anything in the red zone at all during that game. Two final games to cover for you. One of them is my Minnesota Vikings. They went into Carolina. They were down 10-0. They looked like they were going to get beat, and then something happened. Mike Zimmer started making adjustments with his defense, and they shut down Cam Newton. Shut him down. 8 sacks, 3 picks. The Vikes came sort of storming back to win that game 22-10. Look, to be fair to Carolina, it had been a rough week for everybody in North and South Carolina with all the civil unrest going on around them, and that certainly had to have some sort of effect on the team once they got into the second half of that game. Not taking anything away from the Vikes and Mike Zimmer. Hell of a strategy, hell of a job with that one. And finally today, Mike Tomlin. Now, I for those of you that are new to the Dave Dabbah Big Show, a while back, I did a show on Mike Tomlin, just exclusively on Mike Tomlin. I said how much I love Mike Tomlin. And it's true. I love Mike Tomlin. I think he's a hell of a head coach. He always has his team prepared, except for this past Sunday. That was a horrific performance by the Steelers. There were no adjustments made. It was like they just put it on Ben Roethlisberger's shoulders to throw passes to some wide receivers who couldn't catch the ball. Look, Antonio Brown did what Antonio Brown does. I think he had like 140 yards receiving, no touchdowns, but still, he still was good. The other receivers completely let Roethlisberger down. The offensive line got manhandled by the Philadelphia Eagles, and Carson Wentz looked outstanding, which leads me to the Los Angeles Rams and the Cleveland Browns, and why both of those teams are going to continue to be bad for a long time, because you didn't take Carson Wentz. This is a franchise quarterback that all you have to do is just sprinkle a little water on him and he's going to grow in front of your eyes. And that is exactly what Doug Peterson and the rest of the former QBs who are on that coaching staff in Philadelphia are doing with Carson Wentz. 34-3, extremely disappointed in the lack of adjustments by Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Disgraceful Mike Tomlin. All right, North America. That is it for the Big Dave Dabbah Big Show. The show is truly blowing up. Facebook, Twitter, Sound of Cloud, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, because if that's not enough, we're on iTunes, and of course, we are now on iHeartRadio, which I am super excited about. All right, for the big ego piece. For the Dave Dabbah Big Show, I am Dave Dabbah, reminding you that not everyone can be a champion, Ron Rivera, but everyone, and I do mean everyone, can act like one Cam. And I think Cam did a good job this week, on just a side note on that. And good luck, North America.